do some creative writing. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. This your first time calling into the remix?
No, I actually got in the other day when Panic was on. I asked a question about melanin, so I'm actually on a lucky streak right now.
You're on a lucky. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about your writing, and you want to get more. You said into creative writing. Now, one of the things that I could see, and tell me your name one more, is Bloodline. You said you go by Bloodline of Kings.
Yeah, Bloodline of Kings.
Bloodline of Kings. And what is your name?
Masson, Masson.
Okay, Lasan. All right. Well, one of the things that I will say to you, your style of writing that I see that you're really trying to work towards of doing is very unique. And it's interesting because I just had a conversation about this the other day, and it reminded me so much of Donald Goings. Are you familiar with Donald Goings?
I've read his book before, yes.
Yeah. Would you say that is sort of the close, like, kind of a writing style?
Yeah,
I
would say so.
Yeah, okay. Well, we know we're right, exact, where spirit is concerned. Here's some of the things for you to begin to do. And one of those things is that you need to definitely get more into what we would call feminine energy, so to be in that energy of receiving. But the place that you're really actually having those blocks at and why it's not coming across or you're not able to do it the way that you want is that you really need to do some work on your heart. And a lot of this work, when it comes to your art, has a lot to do with women in your life and sort of how the relationships with women in your life have impacted you over the years. Does that make sense when I say that to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And so it's about you really sort of kind of taking some time to really kind of heal of those things, those wounds, and those relationships with the women that are very close in your life, and really be able to honestly take a look at that, and you can begin to work with that energy.
Okay.
So a big part of that is going to be your block right there. So it requires you to really, here's your next step. You want to know your next step? Sit down, and I want you to begin to get into your writing. You can put on some music, anything to really kind of get you in that groove, to kind of get you going, to get you moving. And then I want you to sit down, and I want you to write a story about a woman. Write a story about a woman. And allow that story to just evolve itself naturally. What you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of different areas in your life of how the feminine energy has played such a very positive role in your life. And you're also going to be able to see those places where the blocks are. So that's what you do. Sit down, write a short story about a woman. Just however you visualize that woman, whatever comes up about that woman, and really just begin to let that energy flow. Because your particular blocks has a lot to do with women in your life. It has a lot. There are some relationships that need to be mended. The first one starting with the relationship of your mother, and the other one starting with that relationship. It looks like this person, I'm going to say, I don't know, because I kind of get that you're in a relationship, but you're not. What's that about?
Yes, I am. I'm in a relationship right now.
Okay. How's it going for you?
It's cool. It's working out for me.
It's working out for you. I see a little rocky road there. You know, I'm kind of on my raft tonight, and we're taking a ride on the boat, and I see that boat going. You know, I see it kind of shaking up and down a lot.
Yeah, it's in some tsunami water.
Okay, well, I definitely thank you for your honesty there. Yeah. You need to fix that. You need to definitely begin to fix that. And one of the things I want you to work with is I want you to get you a rose quartz crystal. And buy a rose quartz crystal for yourself, and then also be able to buy a rose quartz crystal for your lady. And I want both of you guys to take that rose quartz crystal and charge them up each. You charge yours and she charged hers. And then what I want you to do that night when you guys get ready to go to bed, and anybody out there that's having some relationship problems, I want you to think about this because this is a very powerful ritual here, and I'm giving it to you guys. And then what I want you to do, I want you guys at night to exchange your rose quartz crystals. Okay? And so both of you sleep with it underneath your pillow. In the morning, when you guys get ready to talk to each other, I want you to share whatever dream, whatever vision, and whatever comes to your heart. And then throughout the day, I want you to switch the crystals back. You're going to see so many things come out of this particular energy. The rose quartz crystal, what I love about working with the rose quartz crystal, and for soulful readings, this is actually one of the crystals that I place in my belly button, and it really just helps to keep me balanced. It helps to keep me in that vibration and that frequency, and really pull the energy right there from that chakra point, that energy center right there. But what this is going to do, it's going to take all of the pain, all of the hurt. It's going to bring it to the surface, but it's going to raise the frequency to the highest level of love for both of you, so that you can begin to discuss this section, discuss this love, to discuss this with love. You guys are still together, having a little bit, relationships are work. And I don't care if that's a relationship with someone you work with, somebody that is in your family, or a relationship for, a safe union that you're in. It takes work, and you have to constantly be working with the relationship. But those are some things that you can begin to. Those are going to be your next step. That's going to take you right exactly where you want to be. All right? Then what I want you to do is definitely come back on and let us know. I guarantee you your writing will open back up, and you'll be writing those Donald Goins stories and your own stories all over the place.
You're spot on, Miss Blue. I like it.
All right. Peace and love to you. Thanks for calling in. Beautiful.
Appreciate your time. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Beautiful, beautiful.
Question for you. I'm doing a little melanin studies here. Could you tell me, like when you're reading books, like in movies, like what are some of the code words they're using for melanin?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Whenever you see, you can get down to, you can take this to the McDonald's level. Two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. That special sauce is melanin. So when there's ever this elixir, this secret drink, fountain of youth, this magic potion, Jekyll and Hyde, he drinks a magic potion, boom, he's Hyde. There was a movie, Reanimator, this green thing. Anything that symbolizes change, or you always see the mad scientist with a serum. You know what I'm saying? And then he changes into this beast. But then we look at this beast like, why would melanin do that? Because that beast is representing his primal force. Before there was creation, that we've come to say, hey, this is beautiful. Look at those titties. You know what I mean? Oh, this is beautiful. He's got melanin highlights and golden hue. All that shit is not your reality. That's just some illusion shit that we've come to love. So understanding that, when you see all of these scientists that drink the shit and get a hump, you know what I'm saying, and turn into a ghoul, and usually those things are talking about melanin. You get what I'm saying? And but ultimately, when they're talking about DNA, they're still talking about melanin. When they're talking about change, any X-Men, so about melanin coming online. You get what I'm saying? Any all of it is a roundabout way talking about melanin. You get what I'm saying? Even if they're not talking about this elixir. You get what I'm saying? This secret veil. All of it is talking about this getting into this substance that changes the lead to gold. You get what I'm saying? Because what you're talking about out in straight up white consciousness in movies is always alchemy. They've got that word. Everyone knows it. Everything is about alchemy. But the secret to alchemy, melanin is the catalyst for that change. You get what I'm saying? And melanin is programmable. So most of us don't have a thorough understanding of how deep and how far our melanin could go to program it for the things that we really need. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Most of us understand it on a physical level. That's the easiest and good, because most of us are getting into this proud shit. So there's inner ear melanin on your taste buds. Inner ear melanin gives you rhythm because it deals with your equilibrium, how you hear things in music better, how you taste deeper, how you smell deeper, how you see more range in colors. So when white people look at you, they blink 1,000 times. They're actually looking at the sun. There was one thing my boy Tef dropped on me when you always hear this, the fighting Irish. The Irish never go down. Yeah. They got the toughest chin in the goddamn world. But what he dropped on me was like, actually, they have no fucking neuromelanin. So what that means is when they're getting punched, the melanin in their nervous system is not telling them, hey, you got punched in the face. So that's why their shit be looking like hamburger meat by the end of the fight. They're like, we can still keep going. And it's like, because they're not even being told they're getting fucking punched in the fucking face. You get what I'm saying? Now, somebody, Big Bad Bopper, well, that's why they bungee jump. That's a part of it. Because their lack of melanin, see, what you take for granted, melanin is life. So we have that life in us. So all that skateboarding and shit, trying to fucking skate down a whole step full of poles and all that ridiculous shit, that's not in us. You know what I'm saying? Hang gliding.
Yes.
You know, shit. They got the shit where you just put on skis. It's not even downhill. You just walk in snow into nothingness and just hope you can make it back. You know what I'm saying? In snowstorms with skis on. That kind of shit ain't for us. You know what I'm saying? Now, with bungee jumping, I've seen a tape where they show some Africans doing that shit in Africa. Not even bungee, some old ancient shit. I said, well, we done lost that argument. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was tying goddamn palm trees and just jumping off the bridge. I said, we done lost that shit. That's on one of them mono-carny shit. We done lost that shit. You know what I'm saying? That little argument, that's why they bungee jump. Here we got some niggas, you know what I'm saying, tying some shit, you know what I'm saying? So because they don't have that life in them, they're always seeking it. I need a rush, man, that rush. But that's because we have it on the inside, you get what I'm saying? So everything is really melanin related. If you're in a movie and they talk about this fruit juice, the mead, this fruit that they eating, like, or even a better example, there was a movie called with Johnny Depp with Chocolate, and there was another one for Love and Chocolate or something like that.
Yes. Straight
story about melanin, and they were talking about the secret is that they put cayenne pepper in the chocolate. That's an old Moorish recipe, and they were bringing this shit back out in Europe. They still do it over there in some of the high-end chocolate thing, but that's a Moorish thing. You get what I'm saying? So all of that is talking about melanin. You get what I'm saying? Water for chocolate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like water for chocolate. So, I mean, it's subtle, but whenever you hear this elixir or this magic, this potion or this fruit that's doing these things to people, you get what I'm saying? What you're hearing is them talking roundabout melanin. And there is a book, I can't remember what it is, but talks about melanin in many different forms as a cube. So melanin as a cube. That you seen that in the movie Transformers. Melanin as sand. There was another movie where they dealt with sand, not the Sands of Time one, but there was another movie where they were dealing with sand as this magical thing, and it was referred to man. Melanin is also considered a sandy substance. Sand from the pineal, they'll call it. Like your pineal makes the sandy substance, which always fairy dust is looked at as melanin. So it's all nobody's gonna say melanin because that's just a word for it. Merkaba was another word for it. You'll find that in the Sumerian, I believe it's Sumerian. Well, or if the Meru pillar, which later became the pillar of Osiris, which is nothing but your spine. There's a substance. I think that substance is Merkaba. If not, that gives another off a substance. And in William Henry's books, he talks about Tennessee has a mall designed after the Maroon Killer. He put them shit side by side.
Sure
and
did.
Remember, Tennessee is Nashville. There was a Nashville in Kemp. You get what I'm saying? They ain't playing. They setting this shit up.
And Memphis. Yeah.
Memphis. It's Memphis. If not Nashville, Memphis. Somewhere in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Where Sean has abandoned for Utah to walk around with orange flags. You know what I'm saying?
And be part of the 1%.
Right.
Hey, I can ask you another quick question right quick?
Sure.
Hey, you remember you was when Mike Jack transitioned and he was going through chopping down the dimensions and the nigga that was chopping the wood or whatever. I remember when Bobby was talking about y'all was talking about when you die, most people they walk towards the light, and you said don't walk towards the light. You want to walk in the darkness and search through the light. Well, because you'll get trapped in another dimension. Since Mike made that transition and he freed the people from the dimension, is that still the case about not walking towards the light?
He freed people in a certain level of dimension. As long as the earth is here, that light will exist. Just look like that. As long as we're here, that will exist because we are in a dimension now called Earth. So that'll exist. The light that you're looking for when you die is in yourself. So you walk towards the darkness until you see the light within yourself. And that's the light you walk to. You're talking about astral light is when you walk towards that big light. So you're walking to another reality. You get what I'm saying? So you're not trying to do that. You will do that if you feel you have to. You get what I'm saying? You feel you have to. Somebody asked me about nothingness. The nothingness is symbolic of what it is that is the understanding that your brain cannot fathom. You get what I'm saying? So there are 3 stages of nothingness, which is not nothing in the classic sense. It means 3 stages which you do not understand, which are the same 3 stages or the 3 trimesters of birth.
Right.
Technically, when you was in your mom's womb, which you don't remember, you were in 3 trimesters of nothingness. It doesn't mean you were nothing. It just means you were not, from where you were not ready to interpret this world until your brain, heart, and all the rest of that shit was ready. So when you die and leave your brain, heart, and all the rest of that shit, you're coming into a new true self or whatever you want, the true self, your real reality. You are going through 3 stages of gestation in the womb again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the nothingness is symbolic of it. It represents the chaos realm where all things are possible. You get what I'm saying? The same way when you're in your mother's womb, all things are possible. He's going to be a butcher, baker, candlestick maker, a doctor, or he's going to sell the most crack any nigga in the ghetto has ever sold. He may be a girl, or she may be a girl. She may be sexy. She may be this. It's all of these things. You have a genetic makeup, which you kind of know. Well, it's going to be in that because your father ain't shit. So I don't expect too much from you. So you know what I'm saying. So if you look at it the other way, you could look at it as much study and much work you did down here to change your DNA, your spiritual DNA, is the same type of birth you'll have on the other side. You get what I'm saying? If your ass just skated by down this motherfucker, you can imagine what's going to happen. You're going to be on the other side looking for the goddamn remix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the idea here is you're changing your DNA because you're bringing birth to yourself, the type of reality or type of baby or type of entity you want to be. So that's why it's so important to deal within the right brain because your imagination is the key to this piece.
Oh, yes.
And if you need help with that, well, allow me. It's called a panic pack. What you need to do is email me, Brother Panic, and I'm not a baller like Mr. Blue. I don't have
whatever
the lovely Sister Munya to help, so you'll be talking to me, to moi. Email panicpack@hotmail.com and get you an herb pack. This helps you get into the right brain. This helps clear away all that funk that is choking your pineal gland and stopping you from doing what you got to do. You need an herb pack. You get what I'm saying? If your heart is an issue, don't worry. Dr. Panic has got you there. We have what you call a love pack. which helps you open up your heart chakra. Ancestor pack, help you talk to spirits. Lust pack, for if your phallus ain't what it used to be is. If your phallus is full of BS, you need to get you a lust pack. You know what I'm saying? If you look in the mirror and say, why is my vagina dry, get you a lust pack. You know what I'm saying? Get you a lust pack. You know what I'm saying? We will put your vagina back in Waterworks, back to Watertown. We will move your vagina back to Watertown. Get you a...
I'm doing good. How are you and Dr. Blair doing?
Great. We're wonderful.
Well, I'm doing well, and hope you are too.
I'm doing well. Dr. Blair, I have a question for you. Once we're able to get into the fifth dimension, will our ancestors that passed on before us, will they be able to come to the fifth dimension, or will we be able to contact them easier?
Well, dimensions are something like classrooms, not neighborhoods. Classrooms. Now, each classroom may be in a different neighborhood. So each soul has something to learn. You know, it's been said that when one dies or gets close to the death portal, that the whole life passes before you. Well, right now, our planet is going through an ascension portal, and her whole life is passing through her. Those people who passed on, if you have souls, you can never die. But they can go to different vibrations of rates. Vibrations there, as I understand, are different from vibrations here. So although you may say they died 20 years ago, it may be 20 minutes ago if they're in a cycle of learning. It may be 2 seconds if it's a higher spirit. So I would simply say this. They are there, we are here. Sometimes most souls that haven't gotten off the fourth dimension now are souls that have a lot to learn, are not learning well, and so time is more or less standing still for them. Most souls that are higher in vibration have already ascended to the seventh dimension and either wait there because they're waiting for others, or as a group soul we go ahead, or can be contacted. The whole point is you don't want to call back anybody unless they're willing to come back, and those souls that are low in vibration, you don't want to get there either. Even if you knew them here, if they haven't learned, they're not worth contacting, because now you stop their ascension because you remind them of their earth life. We could talk about that all night long, and I just simply say that's an overview as I understand it to be, and of course I can be wrong, I can be right, that's your truth.
Okay.
Well, excellent. Mm-hmm. That was a great question, Hassan. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
I appreciate it. No problem.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye. Now, that was an excellent answer. You know, a lot of people want to reach back and contact those dead loved ones because we miss them. But we got to understand that everybody is on a journey, right?
There you go. And also
right.
we meet up in the great by and by. And the great by and by may be quicker than we think, because as we speed up in ascension, you kind of narrow down the field. When you're at the lower body, you got everybody. As you go up to the pyramid top, things become narrow.
Excellent. Well, let us go on to the next caller here, and that's area code 601.